In his address to the nation on March 17, 2003, George W. Bush justified going to war with Iraq by stating that the danger is clear. Using chemical, biological, or one-day nuclear weapons obtained with the help of Iraq, the terrorists could fulfill their stated ambitions and kill thousands or hundreds of thousands of innocent people in our country or any other. In his first public address since the Newtown Elementary School shootings, NRA spokesman Wayne LaPierre stated, "The truth is that our society is populated by an unknown number of genuine monsters. People so deranged, so evil, that no sane person can possibly ever comprehend them. And does anybody really believe that the next Adam Lanza isn't planning his attack on a school he's already identified at this very moment?" These statements are reactions to two very separate events, but where they differ in context, they are similar in style and delivery. In America, the rhetoric of fear is an often used tactic that successfully manipulates and mobilizes the masses against a perceived enemy for political and fiscal gain. According to experts, the conflation of difference and danger has been central to the formation and maintenance of American identity. In constructing American identity through fear, political figures stress the idea of an America whose purpose is to rid the world of evil, and who needs its populace to police themselves and their neighbors in order to preserve the extant social order, even when it fails to preserve their interests. The discourse of fear works partly by establishing a nefarious and unfamiliar other whose raison d'etre is to destroy the righteous and familiar citizen. This concept is known as othering and serves to alienate and promote the distrust of a group or class of people, while simultaneously rallying and unifying a seemingly disparate group of citizens into one political body. In his 2002 State of the Union address, George W. Bush stated that the struggle against terrorists and their supporters was a clash of civilizations, and declared that these enemies constitute an axis of evil, arming to threaten the peace of the world. By seeking weapons of mass destruction, these regimes pose a grave and growing danger. By declaring the enemy as a harbinger of chaos and destruction, and framing the West as the gatekeeper to peace, a tension is created that serves to undermine the perceived enemy and easily manipulate the masses into giving their support. Wayne LaPierre sets up a similar dichotomy between conservatives and liberals, saying that liberals demonize lawful gun owners and fill the national debate with misinformation and dishonest thinking that only delay meaningful action. In this frame of mind, these gun owners are unable to protect defenseless citizens against harm because of perceived lies spread by gun control supporters. These arguments frame both the United States and gun owners as the enforcers of peace and decry the other as a threat to this peace. But it is important to know that their true rationale is not always candid in their arguments. While Wayne LaPierre's ardent fervor to protect Americans against numerous threats such as terrorists, crime, drug gangs, the possibility of Euro-style debt riots, civil unrest, or natural disaster may seem justified to the uninformed observer, his unabashed support of decreased gun control may lend itself to another reason. The NRA spokesman fails to mention that the lobbyist group received nearly $38.9 million between 2005 and 2011 from the gun industry, with one manufacturer pledging $1 to the NRA for each gun sold. It would appear that gun lobbyists oppose gun control not because of Second Amendment freedoms, but because their biggest donators would be adversely affected if guns became harder to buy. In a similar cover-up, the real reason behind the Iraq War was revealed by former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan to be largely about oil, rather than seeking out weapons of mass destruction. While beneficial during a just war, discourses of fear are largely ineffective and fail to solve the real problems at hand due to their reliance on trepidation and paranoia rather than on logic and reason. This type of rhetoric is unethical and disingenuous because it selfishly undermines America's problematic involvement in the Middle East and flippantly disregards the superabundance of gun-related violence in the country. As long as fear and misinformation are employed in political rhetoric, self-interest will conquer over social interest, and there will never be any real change undertaken to address the issues. In the future, it is important to examine these issues critically and not be persuaded by a good versus evil binary, as fear will often get in the way of our good judgment.